Because of why I search the deep through endless nights, no time to sleep. The call inside I can't deny. I'll find the light because of why.
So you've probably heard Bahrain called the Island of Pearls, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about why? It's not just some clever tourism slogan. We're about to dive into a 4,000-year-old story that's as deep and shimmering as the gems themselves. To really get this, you've got to transport yourself back in time. Imagine a world where a tiny, glowing orb from the sea was the ultimate status symbol. We're talking more desirable than diamonds. Seriously, jewelers like the legendary Jacques Cartier would travel across the entire globe just for a shot at getting their hands on them. So, the big question is how? How did this one tiny island become the absolute epicenter for this priceless gem? What was the secret in the water that made these pearls so special? And how did a single treasure end up shaping an entire nation? All right, let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. This nickname isn't something the tourism board cooked up last week. Bahrain's identity as the Island of Pearls was literally forged over thousands of years, and the proof is written in ancient texts and buried in the sand.
And check this out. This timeline just shows how incredibly deep these roots go. We're not talking about a few hundred years. We're talking millennia. It all starts way, way back with the Dolmen civilization. Ancient Assyrian texts even mention their pearls, calling them fish eyes. How cool is that? Flash forward to the Roman Empire, and they're already famous for it. Then you hit the Golden Age, when Bahrain was the undisputed king of the pearl trade, all the way to today, with UNESCO stepping in to protect this incredible history. So what was the big deal? What made the pearls from these specific waters so sought after? Why were they considered the absolute best in the world? Well, it turns out it's kind of like a perfect secret recipe from Mother Nature herself. Okay, this is where the real magic happens. It's this perfect storm of natural conditions you just don't find anywhere else. You've got the shallow, warm Gulf waters, which are perfect for oyster beds, or hayrat as they're known locally. But, and this is the secret sauce, there are freshwater springs that actually bubble up from under the seabed. This unique blend of fresh and salt water is what gives the local pearls that legendary, unrivaled glow. It's just something special. And get this for a second. We're not talking about pearls grown on a farm. Nope. These are 100% natural, a complete accident of nature. The odds of finding a pearl in a wild oyster are about 1 in 10,000. 1. Let that sink in. This isn't just a luxury, it's a straight-up miracle. So this unbelievably rare gem didn't just bring Bahrain fame. For centuries, it literally built the nation's economy and shaped its entire society, from the top down. I mean, just look at this number. At its absolute peak, right before the 1930s, the pearling industry wasn't just part of Bahrain's economy, it was the economy. You're talking about 30,000 men, a huge portion of the entire male population, whose lives and families depended completely on what they could find at the bottom of the sea. And life out on a pearling boat was this well-oiled machine. You had the nakoda, the captain, who was like a living GPS with a secret encyclopedic knowledge of the best pearl beds. The geis, the divers, they were the heart of the whole operation, and their lives were literally hanging by a rope held by the saib, the guy who pulled them back up. Everybody, right down to the young apprentices, had a crucial role. It was a total team effort. But yeah, let's be real, we shouldn't romanticize this. The life of a pearl diver was incredibly dangerous and difficult. The ghas, the pearling season, was a grueling 4-month-long ordeal. I mean, these guys faced the constant threat of sharks, the risk of drowning, and the agonizing pain of decompression sickness. It was a life of immense hardship, a powerful reminder of the human cost behind every single beautiful pearl. So after thousands of years of dominance, after all that risk and all that reward, how did this entire world come to such a sudden, dramatic end? Let's take a look.
Yeah, it wasn't a slow decline. The industry was slammed by a perfect storm. 2 huge disruptions that happened at pretty much the exact same time, and they completely changed Bahrain's destiny forever.
And what's so wild is this 1-2 punch that knocked the industry out. First, from Japan came the cultured pearl.
Innovators figured out how to farm them, and suddenly the market was flooded with cheaper, perfect alternatives. The value of natural pearls just plummeted. Then, almost on cue, in 1932, something else was discovered in Bahrain: oil. All of a sudden, there was a new, safer, more reliable way to make a living. For thousands of men, the choice was clear.
But the story doesn't end there. Not even close. In fact, in our modern world, Bahrain's identity as the island of pearls has become more important and, honestly, more powerful than ever. So why is this old identity so important now? Well, it all comes down to this fundamental difference. A natural pearl is that 1 in 10,000 miracle. A cultured pearl is made with human help. It's the difference between finding a diamond in the rough and buying a cubic zirconia. And Bahrain has made a really bold move to protect its legacy as the home of the real thing. And this is a huge deal. Bahrain is the only country on earth that has completely outlawed the trade of cultured pearls. This isn't just about economics. It's a powerful statement that says, we will not compromise our cultural heritage. It's a guarantee that when you buy a Bahraini pearl, you are getting the real 100% natural deal. And what's really exciting is that we're seeing a revival. In a world that's more and more conscious of sustainability and ethical sourcing, natural pearls are making a comeback. And in a beautiful sign of progress, women are now joining the ranks of licensed pearl divers, bringing a new generation and a new perspective to this ancient tradition. The story is evolving. So, the next time you hear Bahrain called the Island of Pearls, you'll know it's so much more than a nickname. It's a testament to a 4,000-year legacy of nature, resilience, and a nation's enduring identity. It kind of leaves you wondering, in a world that's always searching for something authentic, maybe this ancient gem is more valuable than ever. Hey, if you found this story as fascinating as I did, do us a favor and hit that like button, and maybe share it with a friend who loves a good piece of history. And of course, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next deep dive. We've always got something interesting cooking. We'd love to know what you think in the comments. Are there any other historical nicknames of countries or cities that you find fascinating? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.